Hey guys, Ziando here with another Boomkin PvP gameplay. This time on Silver Shard Mines. Right at the front here, me and Valfor came out the gate and we decided we're going to go get water before it even started. And all he asked me to do is basically slow everybody down. Normally I would try to slow them down to the bridge, but I said screw that. And I just waited. I vortexed the bottom, and then I just rooted everybody as they tried to run past me, which worked to my advantage quite well, as you can tell here. The Paladin did end up just moving off, and then that just left the Shadow Priest and the Frost Mage here, and we'll burn them down pretty quick here. The rest of the game, I don't think I really ever slow anybody down, because we come to find out really quick that they're really, really weak, so we just burn them really, really quick. I did end up switching, guys, so you'll notice a little bit of a difference in my overall damage, or as my overall DPS. I don't know if I lost DPS per se, but I did gain a lot of bursts. I recently switched to Crit Mastery, which is something that I wouldn't normally have done because I was really happy with my haste build, but I talked to a couple of the subscribers suggested it to me, so I figured I'd help it out or check it out. And then I also had a couple of the higher rated arena guys on my server suggested to me as well, or not on my server, but I talked to Hodded and a couple of the other big names out there for like YouTube, and I know a couple of good Boomkins, and they suggested Crit Mastery as well. So I checked it out, and it doesn't necessarily give me a DPS boost because I do lose those extra ticks of Starfall and those extra ticks of Moonfire and Sunfire. However, I did see that my Star Surges were a lot more reliable as far as actually critting when they hit somebody, and overall I was getting a lot more procs off of Moonfire and Sunfire. Now that might have just been in my head because that's what I was looking for, but it did seem like I was getting a lot more procs. So, and I did notice actively when we were playing arenas earlier the evening that we recorded this, which was Thursday, we definitely got a lot more pressure put on people because I was able to get more Star Surge. As you can see here, I should have just been casting that Star Surge because my Star Surge is right there, another one. So it was definitely a big improvement. So those of you guys that did actually suggest it to me, I greatly appreciate it. I did take it. I did actually listen. I promise I was listening. I wasn't just like, oh, my build's the best of the best. I was just kind of weighing the loss of my other abilities, and then I just started looking around, and I wanted to converse with a couple other Boomkins that I knew before I actually made the change, because that can be, well, it wasn't expensive in this case, but sometimes it can be expensive. I still don't agree with a full PvP power build. For those of you guys that are still thinking I should go full PvP power, and all the higher rated arena guys that I know and RBG guys are definitely don't go PvP power. Just match slots. That's the way to go. So all day, match slots. You don't need to stack a shit ton of PvP power. You'll get it out of your gear. I think even my buddies that are elite geared, they've only got like a 50% PvP power, but they have at least 66 to 67 or 66 to 68% resilience, which is something that's absolutely necessary on a Boomkin and the higher rated stuff, because people will just focus you down. And if you want to actually be able to do damage even halfway decently, then you're going to have to focus on keeping yourself alive, or at least being able to do that instead of running all the time, because you'll get burned down pretty easy, as some of you may have noticed in a PvP power build. You will hit like a mock truck, but it's not worth the trade-off. And even like DKs and Warriors and all those guys that don't necessarily have our escape have moved over to resilience builds, so, you know, learn from their mistakes, I guess. Anyhow, outside of that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. As you can tell from the overall game here, we're pretty much dominating. I got a quick sunbeam on that. 2 or 3 people actually died in that whole engagement right there. I just want to give you some updates as far as my Monday announcements that I made. I did post my tutorial video on Tuesday, as you guys saw. I wasn't extremely happy with the tutorial video. I was happy with how it came out, but I don't like how long it was, so I'm going to refine it. Consider that one kind of a rough draft. It is a really good draft, but it definitely needs some refining so that I can just get to the base points and that you guys can just get what you want out of there. I did cover everything I possibly could for damage, and I do have more material that I want to do, but that one was too long, as most of you have found out, and most of the time I was just rambling on about shit that we're not even using. So I am gonna narrow that down. I'm gonna make it a lot easier for you to use, and overall I think it'll come out better once I re-record and redo it. And I'm going to try to do that this weekend. I also record the rest of the tutorial vids as well. Now, aside from that, I also talked about going on to Twitch TV, I believe on Wednesday. So I put everything together for my live stream, and I'm hoping to have that up on Saturday so that I can run it successfully on Tuesday. And once I start running it successfully on Tuesday, we'll be, right as rain on that aspect. And I'll let you guys know via Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube on Monday how that went. That's live streaming. I'm about to be up and running on that, and we're good there. Now, RBG's on Friday. I didn't post an RBG video this Friday because I didn't have one that I really liked that I wanted to show you guys that I thought would be actually halfway decent because I wasn't actually leading any. However, I did find some. I do have some footage of some good Boomkin gameplay in RBGs, and I will post that, but not tomorrow. I'll post it the following Friday. I'll get everything put together on Saturday, and I'm hoping to actually pick up some better videos this Friday. So, anyhow, guys, if you're actually paying attention to the gameplay at this point, as you can see, I pretty much run through, and I'm nuking everybody that I can. I'm getting a lot more Star Search procs. Everything's working out a lot better in this random than it was in my older ones. I was still doing a ton of damage in my older ones, but overall my burst just wasn't quite where I wanted it to be or how I liked it. So overall it's working a lot better. Val4 noticed it was working better too. So that was good. Now the game is over here in a second. We completely dominated this one. We pretty much had 3 carts the whole game. And it wasn't really much of a challenge as far as their DPS. None of us actually took any damage. We didn't have any healers on the team. We didn't have any healers on the team, yet we still managed to just dominate them. So, and it was the same thing. They didn't have any healers either. They had 5 hunters. So anyhow, thanks guys for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think.